Hello there, welcome back to the Aether Keep. My name is Courtney Williams, the People's WNBA Finals MVP, and I will be your host today. Alright, it's defense time again, you know how this goes, but this week I had a very special challenge for myself. I've talked at length about how CYL8 was a reset of the meta. Well, I wanted to see what I could do on the defensive side without using CYL8 units. Now, you're going to look at this and you're going to notice something immediately, and that one thing is that Felix is still here. And I don't think there's really any debate that this is the best unit in the game right now. I allowed myself 1. I was using 4 at points, or 3, whatever. That's the plan. Anyway, we're gonna burn through these first few because they kind of look like that, and then there's this one, which kind of looks like this. I think that there is definitely a certain amount of people forgetting, underestimating Sigurd's range. Happens. I would like to put on this replay, which is honestly one of my favorite replays of all time. I wish that I could let it play in silence, but unfortunately such is not the nature of this medium. So, let's let it go. We have this guy. Doesn't really need DC, but I mean, that is more consistent. Crazy stats. This guy, just stacking all the stats in the entire world. 2 CYL versus 1 CYL. It seems like it should be a slam dunk, right? And the solid supports. So this taught me something, which was that I still need to protect that tile somehow. Take note of that. But really, this fight is going to go somewhere that I find very satisfying. I would also like to point out, I also just want to take this moment to talk about why did I actually decide to do this? I didn't really consciously sit down and say, I don't want to use any CYL8 units. I kind of just, well, I guess I sort of did, but mostly the honest truth is that this guy right here, this Giga Chad in the blue armor, this is the only unit I have ever inherited Hardy Fighter to, and I always had like 3 extra copies of it. I just chose not to. This is the only guy I ever did because fun refine, fun unit. The police are coming for me because it's too hard to take him down, other than the one way, we'll get there. But I just, it felt like this guy's relevance slipped away, and I just didn't want to let it, because it hurt me to spend that fodder and not even end up using him. So here we have Gatry doing Gatry things, and boy does he is doing them. We managed to corral Sigurd, so we can't even get off the AoE, meaning Gatry survives with the 0 damage swag, and it takes a village. It takes the entire army to even do a point of damage to this guy. Meanwhile, their only hope of taking him down, essentially, my Sigurd. Their Sigurd, gone. My Sigurd, going. We actually get the KO on... It is so RNG who wins what fight now. I would believe that any combat could produce any number. That's just the way the game is working these days. And here, we're still trying to take this guy down. It's impossible. I think we can just skip through these combats because we don't want to be here all day. But now, turns out that ye old player phase not so strong. So Javi gets away with it, but we get 4 KOs, which is actually what you need on this team. Actually what you need on this team to take no lift loss, because there's only 1 mythic. So, here's someone... Now there are lessons that I should have learned that I didn't. This is one of them. Go in. All the moves in the world. Perhaps it would be wise to mix my traps. I think what I've done here was I had the fake trap here because I didn't want the chip damage to get on Gatry. I should have just switched these. I mean, the only people going in are using Sigurd for it anyway, and then the chip damage is already there, so it doesn't matter, but it would slow him down, so that should have been the move. I messed up. That's my mistake, and I pay for it. I pay for it, but this one didn't count. So did I even really pay for it? It's a price I could afford, I can tell you that much. Felix versus Felix, the classic. Don't let anyone tell you burn damage is dead, even though it didn't really matter there. But, yeah, the massive remove to just block in my silly Kanto unit who hid in the worst possible corner. And I mean, I think that this one would have gone off even if they hadn't gotten that, but it didn't feel great to see. It's not my favorite thing in a replay here. But don't worry, that one didn't count. We're back with one that does count, probably. And we are collecting large money. Also, just want to say, doesn't Dimitri look cute/silly with his glasses on over the eye patch? Now there is a little bit of a shenanigan here where I know the AI likes to prioritize putting Micaiah on this tile. The idea behind that is that my saviors can sort of warp in deeper and make the enemy's second turn really annoying. In this case, yeah, see, there it is right there. She gets down very far. Now in this case, that turn was already going to be pretty annoying when you have 1 HP left on your team of 6. That's not exactly an ideal situation. But let's talk about this replay. The replay that made me want to uninstall the game. And it wasn't even because of CYL8 or even a new unit. If you look through this team, you might notice the one I'm talking about. I'm gonna let it play and you'll really see what I mean. Zoom, zoom. Strong movement safely out. Okay, that's what's there. Watch this. Give it a minute. Wait for it. It's coming, I promise.
Failure will not be tolerated. Tidings of war.
Astra? This unit exists to be specifically Gatry and for no other reason. I thought I was going off meta with this. Who carries the exact hard counter to that? I feel like I'm losing my mind, basically. That one... that one hurt me. That was immense psychic damage. After a couple days, I could look at it and say, that's a freak statistical anomaly. We don't have to read that deep into it, but golly gosh, it hurts. Yet, there are losses I can take, there are losses I'm willing to take. That one, someone read deep into my soul. Someone has access to like the Levin SETI Patreon where they get my videos a week early, even though I'm recording this 10 minutes before it will be posted. And they knew to bring it just in case they ever ran into me, because they saw my team before I did. And that is infuriating. I'm talking about it now, it's kind of funny, kind of inspiring, kind of fun, kind of what you want to see. Definitely more fun than another 4 CYL8 units type team. I'm sorry, I don't even hate CYL8 that much, it's just such a talking point. It's turning into a thing. It's like, no one's using Yuri anymore, so I need something to complain about, because that's truly what brings humans joy. Anyway, Sigurd is a unit. Of course, whenever I lose Lift, it's always right before another one comes in that's a success. It's just another reason, just another thing pushing me ever closer to the uninstall, but you know, I can't quit you. I can't quit you, frankly, but... What's this? This is another case of people don't seem to understand that Gallop is 2 more spaces of movement. Swing. Very funny that he then goes to prey on just Ratatosker, but it's like, it doesn't really matter at that point. And yeah, 1 HP on your dancer left. It's not looking great. Here's the opposite of that, where I just want to say, and this is another example of something that makes me want to keep playing the game, because Plus 10 Duo Leon. Plus 10 Duo Leon showed up to my house, and I said, actually, you, my friend, are not allowed in. I do not want that entering myspace.com. And just didn't have the resources to get away, so something worked. They kind of... Also, the catapult to, like, get in on these teams is really large brain, I would say. That's a strategy that I'd not thought about, but it really does, when this map is so popular, that's really cool. So, honestly, well played, claps, but also Duo Leon. Always satisfying to take that guy down 10 years from now. If FEH still exists, I will still be happy every time I beat that thing. Alright, just a few left. Getting you out of here relatively quick this time, I hope. Now this is a new unit who I thought was going to be whatever. Turns out my man can ball, is what it turns out. Let's see that play out. Rare footage of double save. Tragedy did not have Bernadetta this time. We know we've seen her matchup against this Far Savior, but yeah, I think Asker just has like too much text because it's have to be an SDS too. I did not realize how resistant he was to AoEs. Like even beyond the built-in Breath of Life, he just kind of barely takes damage from those things. Which I guess has been a factor. It was like that was a feature in Duo Asker, so it makes sense. Should be there, I should just assume it, but I'm still always surprised when I see it in action. Yes, there's a little propaganda for that unit, but the spacing just happens to work out. We get something done. Okay, actually that's more than I expected, but that's also like a heavily... It's a pretty serious debuff. And the Breath of Life. And I guess it's really just the in-combat damage that doesn't get it done. Yeah, also the defensive special on this guy with the Goose Friend goes... This is a really... Melee frontliner, very real role right now. And when a unit can actually take both of these units like this, without even having speed, it's really crazy. So, yeah, I was not super high on him. Turns out, good unit. Actual... relevantly counter-meta unit. He's stealing my lunch money, but someone who has a team that good doesn't want to take those losses, so we cheat death, but it didn't matter because Lift Loss Control was active. Alright, 2 more. We get to end with the unhappy and then the happy, but this one is secretly fun, I promise. So let's see. Guess what? It's this guy again, and public enemy number 1, though the warrant for his arrest has been rescinded in light of recent, more pressing criminals. We'll never forget what you did at the game, buddy. We'll never forget. Ike, not the player. The player is fine. It's just this unit was a mistake. I think we can all agree that the unit was a mistake. Also, CYL8 makes an appearance. Robin on offense, which I think is something I want to play with more often. I think that's strategy that's really got legs. Once again, I'm punished for not moving my traps. I have done it now. Might not even rerun this team, but I have done it now. And they slide the Ikester right in there. But, guess what? Do you see it? I think you do. It's marked in red. Felix is schmovin'. Ice terrain's not enough to stop the Celica ring. And my genius placement of the gravity trap means that Freyr can't end it all. This ends up mattering because, first of all, just remember that it's going to be important in a minute. Not so high and mighty without your AoE, are we? And yes, what you just witnessed was the fact that even Emblem Sigurd loses to Bonfire. It's just a real problem for that guy. Not a great matchup. Sorry. I'm sorry. We're all sick of that, I know, but it's right there on the table. You gotta take it. So Freyr, not exactly doing the most, but gotta have the one method to get the 7th unit, right? It's him or nothing. Alright, and finally, I don't like, this name makes it a little bit uncomfortable, I'm gonna be real. I hope it's without that intent, but I'm not loving those letters in that order. And what happened here? Ooh, wow, throwback to a simpler time. Less than a year ago, but a simpler time, but not even that much simpler, really. Pretty much the same. It's pretty much just the same thing we're dealing with Felix right now, just slightly less geometric. Anyway, for once, not punished for my trap placement. Gatchery does all the work you could possibly ask him to, and is she really like that? I swear the numbers in this game are RNG sometimes. There's no way to know how much damage something does. Anyway, a little bit of a snapper. Wow, cleaned him right out. I forgot that happened. Wow, what a huge W to end on. What a note. Alright, that's it. Offense, I pretty much used Sigurd and Felix the entire week, and it was not very... Well, actually, I did have to engage my brain a few times, but it was not very harrowing, so... Offense content, I don't know what that looks like right now for me. But, we get the chair. We get the chair, that's all that really matters. When I take losses, I don't get top 1k, but we do get the chair, and I like the chair. So, hey, hope you had fun, hope your week went well. Let me know whatever odd things you've run into in AR and STS, and I will probably post another video before either of us shuffles off this mortal coil, so make sure you're subscribed, etc. Till then. Yes? Yes. Till then.